So we're looking at this world where this is the Mao cultural revolution. It is taking exactly the same track. We have Marxist. I don't care if you think this is about George Floyd. It's not about that. It is actually the birth of a new religion. Because they're erasing our religion, they're erasing our story. They have erased the fundamental aspect of Christianity, and that is forgiveness. And individual forgiveness. That you are not responsible for what's happened in the past. You're responsible for your actions. There is no such thing, as I said, all during the Obama administration, as this bullcrap Jeremiah Wright collective salvation. It doesn't happen that way. To say that mocks God and mocks the message of Christianity. Now, they've erased our religion, or are trying to. We have no story anymore to hold us together. And so what has happened is, through this new religion of quite honestly, race, I think, is the God. The planet is the God. Division is the God. We're now kneeling down, washing the feet of other people. We're being told to get on our knees. There are chants. There is no real fact. This is religious devotion that is happening right now. And you must not play a role in it. You want to talk about the mark of the beast. We all think the mark of the beast is going to come and it's going to be really obvious. Yeah, you're going to have this chip in your hand. No, that's a mark of the beast. It kills me when people say, Bill Clinton, I think he was the Antichrist. Do you really think that the Antichrist is going to be that obvious? Come on. He's going to come as a guy that everybody loves. And everybody says, how could you possibly be? We're at the beginning of that road where one side doesn't understand the other side. I don't know. I don't know how people are falling for this. Probably because they're uneducated. They're only watching mainstream media or social media. So they don't know really what's going on. But if you know the facts and how you are still living in this world where you're like, yeah, Black Lives Matter is not so bad, you're out of your mind. We have new overlords that are coming. Let me tell you about this one. There's a new Facebook oversight board, which is really great. The oversight board is just going to be making the rulings on what content will be allowed on Facebook. So one of the new board members has just tweeted that she is, hang on just a second, she said, we will not shy away from the difficult decisions and intend to act without looking at economic, political, or reputational interest of Facebook. We're not here to defend Facebook. We're here to hold the company accountable for its content decisions. Well, who is she? Well, she is Takawatl Carmen. She's a supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood. She said she is standing with the revolutionaries, the Muslim Brotherhood. She is standing, quote, fully with the revolutions. This was my position yesterday, today, and it will be tomorrow. Not only in Yemen or across the Arab region, but also globally. I am with the inevitability upcoming global spring. The Muslim Brotherhood and its supporters who oppose the military rule are engaged in a legendary struggle, which they are waging with their blood and their resolute steadfastness and their belief that they will restore the revolution to its true path. Well, okay, so we got her on the board. That's fantastic. How do you think this is going to work out for Americans? How do you think this is going to work out for people who believe in the Constitution, who believe in the founding? Have you seen how many statues have been pulled down. Who's doing this? Who's pulling down? You know, yesterday they declared that every statue of Washington and Jefferson must be removed. They're beheading statues. They beheaded the statue in Virginia. I think it was Virginia. Wrapped it in a flag, set it on fire, and then threw it into a lake. It was a statue of Christopher Columbus. By the way, any town that has a statue that you want to get rid of, anything of historic significance that you want to get rid of, we are not asking to glorify these things. We're trying to preserve American history. Please, please let our American History Museum with Mercury One take those statues and store them. Please. Anything that you have in your town that is being looted or destroyed or anything, please send it to us. It must be preserved. You know who these people are? They're the Taliban. Do you remember when the Taliban said there are bigger things to worry about, and we've got to change our culture, we have to change our history, and they blew up those historic Buddha statues. They were carved centuries ago into the mountains. They were amazing. Blew them all up. What's the difference between the Taliban and what's happening here in America? Tucker Carlson, they now are targeting Tucker Carlson. Why? Because he's number one on cable news. That's why. And because he's not going along with it. Disney and T-Mobile. First of all, Disney has never advertised with Fox. If they did, it was a mistake. Disney. Oh, yeah, let's put our ads on Fox News. Their family's there. Yeah, that would make way too much sense. T-Mobile. We've told you for a long time, switch carriers to Patriot Mobile because T-Mobile, if you have it, they're funding abortion centers. They're putting their money with Planned Parenthood. They're not on your side. Well, T-Mobile has just pulled from Tucker Carlson as well. You watch. It's going to be the same thing that they tried to do with me. And they're going to say, Mercedes-Benz won't advertise either. Mercedes-Benz is never advertised. There is a split in our culture, somewhat along ideological and political lines, and it's accelerating. This disease is already in our school. Your school is teaching the 1619 Project, which the week of the 4th of July, we're debunking. It's in our news networks. It's in our social media discourse. They're now thinking about taking Paw Patrol off because it idolizes police officers. Jeez. Over the past several days, sports franchises have caved to the outrage mob. The NFL has apologized via video conference to Nascar, banning the Confederate flag, or what most people believe is the Confederate flag. The NHL commissioner suggesting new guidelines are coming to increase opportunities for people of color to participate in hockey. It's a Canadian and Russian sport, for the love of God. There is a divide in America between left and right, and it is growing. And it's growing between rich and poor, between postmodernist PC bullcrap outrage mobs and the rest of us who just are trying our best to go to work, and we believe in the Bill of Rights. We're hit with it every day. We're racist, misogynist. We're brutal, police-loving pigs. Honestly, I can't tell you if those divides will ever be bridged. The gaps right now seem insurmountable. But we've done it before. We did it in the 1960s, and history is rhyming right now, and we can pull out of this. But our churches are weak. Our institutions are weak. Our understanding of history is weak. We must double our efforts on this. There's another divide that's starting to happen. Another reality that's starting to set in. The cultural divide is manifesting into an economic divide. We've been operating as two distinct cultures for a while, for some time, and you haven't really been impacted by it except on what entertainment you get. But anyone who has been trying to tell you the truth, Fox News for a long time, us, other conservatives, We've been massively, massively demonetized, and it's really hurt us. But news today that Disney has formally boycotted all advertising from Tucker Carlson on Fox News. No Star Wars advertisements, no Marvel ads, no Pixar ads, because of his insensitivity and controversial statements related to the George Floyd killings and Black Lives Matter. You're telling me that it's not controversial just to read the words of Black Lives Matter? That's okay. What they're spewing out about our nation and our police, that's okay. But saying this is a Marxist cultural revolution, that's not. Lego stopped producing any police-oriented characters. Toy stores have pulled police-related toys from the shelves. Oh, God. Do you remember when it was just Alex Jones? First, they come for Alex Jones. And by the end, there's no one left to stand up for you. Remember when Visa stopped processing credit card payments for Alex Jones? Then other conservative or right-leaning platforms, banks and credit card companies refused processing, banking, and any kind of lending to gun dealers and firearm manufacturers. Chase Bank, Bank of America, both refusing to do business with the same companies that make rifles and handguns for the U.S. military. Google and Amazon employees forced those companies to cease doing business with certain agencies in the U.S. government, including the U.S. military. And now, this morning, news, the largest investment bank in the U.S. is considering severing its ties with the largest police union in the U.S. That is basically asking them to find another company to help manage their pension and retirement benefits. They're squeezing us off. They have the corporations. They learned this, and this is what the Tides Foundation set out to do in the 1980s. You think another toy company is going to come along and make police toys and sell them online? Think there won't be a demand for that? The NRA starts a federal credit union. You don't think millions of new depositors will happen? Tucker Carlson loses his position. He can start his own thing, or he can come to the Blaze or wherever. The internet changed everything. But they're going to cancel that as well on us. Today, it's advertisers and social media platforms. Tomorrow, it'll be new banks, new credit card companies, new social media platforms, new movie, TV studios, and after that, a new currency. Everything's about to change. We must stand together. Please. We have to have a direct pipeline to you. Sign up for our email newsletter. It's totally free. If you have the money, get into the direct pipeline. Do not let anyone stand between us that can separate us and we lose track with one another. Join us at blazetv.com. Sign up for a year. You'll save $10. Use the promo code Glenn. Everything I've said was coming is here now. Now is the time. Please join us at blazetv.com/Glenn, or just join my free email newsletter. Go to glennbeck.com and sign up there. We must not be separated.